Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving straight into a complete explainer of the IRCTC RBL Bank credit card, really looking to see if its transit perks actually justify the price tag. Look, if you're someone who spends a massive chunk of your week riding trains or swiping into the local metro, you know perfectly well that those daily transit costs can really add up. So today, we're stripping away all the marketing fluff. We're going to look strictly at the numbers, the real-world perks, and the hard limitations of this specific co-branded travel card.
Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with welcome and positioning, move on to the real cost, look at earning rewards, unpack the perks and travel benefits, and finally give you our redemption and final verdict.
Section 1. Welcome and Positioning. Let's figure out exactly who this card is built for.
You know, the financial market is just absolutely flooded right now with premium travel cards meant for international business class flyers. But this card? It takes a completely different route. It's strictly an entry-level card designed squarely for the everyday Indian commuter. If your primary modes of getting around are the local metro system and the Indian railways, this card is literally targeting you directly.
Now, what's genuinely interesting here is how easily you can offset your initial joining fee. When you first get the card, you're offered 500 bonus reward points, and the threshold to unlock this is just incredibly low. You literally only need to spend a minimum of 500 rupees within the first 30 days of the card being issued. As we're going to see a bit later, those 500 points have a very specific monetary value that effectively hands you your first-year joining fee right back in the form of travel value. Just a quick heads up though, these bonus points will be credited within 60 days, and that only happens after you've actually paid your annual membership fee.
Section 2. The real cost. Let's break down the actual fees you'll be paying to keep this card active.
Okay, let's talk numbers. The base costs are actually quite accessible at just 500 rupees plus GST. But here's the kicker. There is a 99 rupee plus 18% GST fee that applies every single time you redeem your points. While the 500 rupee joining and renewal fees make this card super approachable, that redemption fee is the hidden catch that a lot of cardholders just completely miss. Basically, every time you want to convert your hard-earned points into a free train ticket, the bank is going to charge you 99 rupees plus tax. What that means is, if you make a bunch of small redemptions throughout the year, those fees are absolutely going to eat into your rewards very quickly.
And here is a really crucial point. Unlike a lot of entry-level cards out there, there is absolutely no way to spend your way out of paying the annual renewal fee. This is a huge piece of the puzzle. With plenty of credit cards in this 500 rupee tier, if you spend, say, 50,000 or a lakh in a year, the bank just waives your fee for the next year. Well, not here. That 500 rupees plus GST is a fixed, unavoidable annual subscription cost for holding the card, regardless of how heavily you use it.
Also, keep in mind this card carries a standard 3.5% foreign currency markup. So if you swipe this in a foreign country or even just on an international website, you're going to get hit with this extra penalty fee. It just reinforces that this card is built entirely for domestic Indian transit, definitely not for globetrotting.
Section 3. Earning rewards. Let's see exactly how this card pays you back for your daily commute.
So the card features a tiered rewards system, and it offers a really strong 2.5% return when booking trains directly on the IRCTC portal. Let's break the math down. For every 200 rupees you spend on the IRCTC website or app for train tickets, you get 5 reward points. Since 1 point equals 1 rupee, that is exactly a 2.5% return on your train tickets. You also get a very solid 3 points per 200 rupees on FASTag recharges, NCMC wallet reloads, and the UTS app for unreserved ticketing. But notice that bottom tier. For general, everyday shopping, you only earn 1 point per 200 rupees. That's a pretty meager 0.5% return.
But, and this is a massive but, you need to be really careful here. You're going to earn absolutely 0 points on major household expenses. We're talking fuel, utilities, rent, all of it. This is where the card's strict transit focus really shows its teeth. If you were hoping to rack up points by paying your kids' school fees, covering your monthly electricity bill, filling up the car, or paying rent, well, you'll get nothing. It is incredibly important to understand these exclusions so you aren't completely shocked when your monthly statement arrives with a much lower point balance than you thought you'd have.
Section 4. Perks and Travel Benefits. Time to look beyond the points at the actual lifestyle benefits. The NCMC feature here is just incredibly convenient. It basically acts as a prepaid transit card right inside your credit card, meaning you never have to wait in a metro ticket line again. Seriously, if you commute in cities like Delhi, Bangalore, or Mumbai, you literally know the pain of those endless ticketing queues.
The National Common Mobility Card feature means this credit card doubles as your Metro card. It has a built-in offline wallet with a maximum limit of 2,000 rupees. And offline is the keyword there. The payment terminal doesn't need to connect to the bank's servers to approve the transaction. You just tap it, and you instantly walk through the turnstile. It's brilliant.
You're also getting up to 8 complimentary domestic railway lounge visits every single year. These are capped at a maximum of 2 visits per quarter. Honestly, this is a fantastic perk for a 500 rupee card. Railway lounges give you a quiet place to sit, some complimentary snacks, and tea or coffee while you're waiting out a delayed train. Being able to access these lounges twice every 3 months adds some very real, tangible comfort to your domestic journeys. Throw in the RuPay UPI functionality and train cancellation insurance, and you've got a pretty robust toolkit for navigating Indian transit. Because this is a RuPay card, you can link it directly to apps like Google Pay. That means you can just scan QR codes at local merchants and pay using your credit limit, completely skipping the physical card. The train cancellation cover, up to 5,000 rupees, is a massive safety net for those unpredictable schedule changes. Plus, you get a 1% waiver on the transaction charges when booking on IRCTC, which keeps just a little bit more money right in your pocket. Section 5, Redemption and Final Verdict. Let's see how those points translate into actual money and wrap this up.
The redemption math here is beautifully simple. 1 point equals 1 rupee. It makes it incredibly easy to book your next train ride for free through the IRCTC app. Honestly, this is probably the strongest feature of the entire card. Usually in the credit card world, figuring out point values feels like doing advanced calculus. 4 points to 1 mile, or points being worth exactly 25 paisa each. But here, it's completely transparent. 500 points equals 500 rupees off your train ticket. You just log into IRCTC, select the option to pay with points, and you're done. Just remember that 99 rupee redemption fee we talked about earlier. Because of that fee, you absolutely want to save up your points and redeem them in large batches, rather than spending them the second you earn them.
Now, RBL Bank claims this massive 40x value proposition. They're saying if you maximize every single perk, you could extract up to 20,000 rupees in value annually from this 500 rupee card. To be fair, reaching that full 20,000 rupee value would require some seriously heavy strategic use. You'd have to perfectly utilize every lounge visit, maximize all the transaction waivers, and spend aggressively on train tickets. It represents the absolute ceiling of the card's potential, not necessarily the average user's everyday experience. But it does prove that the framework for high value is definitely there, provided your lifestyle naturally aligns with it.
So, laying it all out, it's clear this is an excellent tool for railway commuters, but it severely lacks flexibility for general lifestyle spending. The pros are hyper-focused. You get great returns on IRCTC, the awesome tap-and-pay convenience of NMCM, the modern necessity of UPI payments, and that sweet railway lounge access. But the cons are equally sharp. You absolutely cannot escape the annual fee. The redemption fee eats right into your rewards, and if you use this card at a restaurant or to pay your electricity bill, you are just leaving money on the table compared to other cards on the market. At the end of the day, when evaluating this card, you just have to take a hard look at your own daily habits. So I'll leave you with this. If you spend most of your life on trains and metros, is this 500 rupee card the ultimate ticket to upgrading your commute, or will those hidden fees end up derailing your rewards? Do the math for your own lifestyle and choose wisely. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and keep learning.